Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here tonight. I know how rare it is to actually find a quiet moment in the middle of everything. So, tonight's story is designed to be a bit of an anchor for you. It's a chance to just slow down and listen. If you find yourself coming back to these videos, please do consider subscribing. It really helps a small channel like this grow. But for now, don't worry about any of that. Just settle in. Today, we're going to leave the world behind for a while. We're taking you on a journey to the mountains of Sintra, Portugal, a place where the land itself seems to hold on to ancient secrets. It's a town of mist and stone, where the air feels different than anywhere else on Earth. So, find a comfortable spot, let yourself relax, and just listen. Let the rhythm of the forest take over. The air in Sintra is heavy with the scent of damp moss and ancient stone. It is always a few degrees cooler here because of the mist that rolls in from the Atlantic. Just breathe, slow, steady, and deep. Tonight, we are traveling to the edge of the European continent to a small mountain town. It is a place where the ocean sends its evening breath up into the hills, creating a thick silver fog that clings to the trees like a soft wool blanket. You are standing at the tall, wrought-iron gates of the Quinta da Regaleira. The metal is cool to your touch, dampened by the humidity of the forest. As you push the gate open, it moves with a heavy, silent grace. The path ahead of you is made of crushed limestone, pale and smooth. On either side, the gardens are dense, almost prehistoric. Giant ferns with fronds as long as your arm lean over the walkway, and ancient oaks, their branches draped in emerald moss, create a natural tunnel that swallows the light. The air here smells of damp earth, crushed pine needles, and the faint, sweet scent of jasmine blooming somewhere deep in the shadows. It is several degrees cooler here than in the town below. The mist brushes against your skin, a fine, invisible spray that feels refreshing and calm. Take a slow step forward, then another. There is no rush. The sun is setting behind the mountains, turning the sky into a deep, bruised purple. But here under the trees, it is already twilight. As you walk deeper into the estate, the gravel path gives way to soft, springy grass. You pass by stone statues, lions, griffins, and hidden faces carved into the rock, all of them smoothed over by centuries of rain. You come to a clearing where a wall of grey stone rises up from the earth. It looks like a natural cliff, but there is an opening. A small, arched doorway carved directly into the bedrock. This is the entrance to the initiation well. Stop for a moment at the threshold. Listen to the silence. It isn't a hollow silence. It's a heavy, peaceful one. You step inside. The tunnel doesn't just lead to the waterfall. If you run your hand along the left wall, you find a heavy wooden door, rounded at the top and reinforced with iron studs. It creaks open to reveal the hidden laboratory of Carvalho Monteiro. The room is carved into the living rock of the mountain. Stone shelves are built directly into the walls, holding glass jars and old, leather-bound books that haven't been opened in 100 years. There is a large stone table in the center, stained with the shadows of old experiments. The air here is perfectly still, smelling of cold iron and dried herbs. In the corner, A small fireplace is built into the stone, its chimney winding up through the earth to a hidden vent in the gardens above. You can almost imagine the faint glow of a fire casting long dancing shadows against the arched ceiling. This was a place for quiet thought, where the noise of the world couldn't reach. You leave the laboratory through a back exit that leads to the promenade of the gods. This is a long, wide walkway made of white stone, elevated above the forest floor. On either side, tall statues of the ancient gods stand guard. Hermes, Apollo, and Artemis look out into the mist, their stone eyes watching the trees. The promenade is lined with low stone walls, covered in thick, flowering vines. As you walk, the mist swirls around your ankles, making it feel as though the walkway is floating in the clouds. To your right, the main palace rises out of the trees like a ghost, its Gothic spires and carved balconies glowing faintly in the moonlight. You stop at the center of the promenade, leaning against the cool stone railing. Below you, the gardens are a sea of deep greens and shadows. You can hear the distant chime of a bell from the town of Sintra, carried on the wind. It is a slow, heavy sound that rings out once, twice, 3 times. The sound vibrates in the air long after the bell has stopped. Now, you turn back toward the shadows of the mountain, ready to find the entrance to the labyrinth. Before you is a void, a vast circular hole in the earth. But it isn't a well meant for water. It is an inverted tower, 9 stories of stone galleries built downward into the dark. You reach out and touch the wall. The stone is schist, the ancient layered rock of the mountains. It feels rough, honest, and incredibly solid. You place your foot on the first step of the spiral staircase. There is no railing here, only the curve of the wall to your left. You begin the descent. Down, 1 step, 2 steps, 3. The stairs are wide and shallow. With every revolution of the spiral, the world above grows quieter. The sound of the wind in the trees fades away, replaced by the rhythmic, hollow echo of your own footsteps. On the first landing, you pause. You look up. The opening at the top is a perfect circle of dimming light, framed by the green leaves of the trees peering over the edge. It looks like a moon hanging in a dark sky. You continue down. The air becomes stiller. It carries the scent of stone and time. You notice the moss growing in the cracks of the steps. It's thick and soft, like velvet. If you press your hand against it, it feels cool and holds the moisture of the mountain. As you stand on one of the middle ledges, halfway between the sky and the floor, you might wonder why a man would carve a tower into the ground instead of building it toward the stars. This place was the dream of a man named Carvalho Monteiro. He didn't build these caves for gold or for protection. He built them because he believed that to find light, a person first had to understand the dark. He filled these gardens with the secrets of the Knights Templar and the Freemasons, turning the very earth into a book made of stone. The well you are standing in was an initiation well. In the old days, a traveller would enter at the top and begin a symbolic journey. The 9 levels weren't a random choice. They were designed to mirror the 9 circles of a soul's journey. As you walk down, you are meant to leave the noise of the outside world behind, shedding your worries, your name, and your past with every step. By the time an initiate reached the bottom, they were standing in total darkness, stripped of their senses. This was the death of their old self. But the story didn't end in the dark. The caves and tunnels branching out from the bottom were designed as a test of intuition. There are no signs here, no maps carved into the walls. You had to feel your way through the damp limestone, running your hands along the rough edges of the rock to find the path. Some of these tunnels lead to dead ends, small, cramped chambers where the air is perfectly still. These were places for meditation, where a person could sit in the absolute silence of the mountain and listen to the beating of their own heart. Other tunnels lead to the unfinished well, a rugged, jagged twin to this one that shows the raw, unpolished side of nature. But the path you are on is the path of alchemy. It was designed to lead the traveler through the underworld of the mountain and out toward the water. The creators of this place believed that by moving through the belly of the earth and emerging behind a waterfall, you were being baptized by the mountain itself. You weren't just walking through a cave. You were being reborn into the garden, seeing the trees and the sky as if for the very first time. Now, as you turn away from the base of the well and look into the dark opening of the tunnel, you aren't just a visitor. You are part of the ritual. You are leaving the weight of the day behind, letting the stone walls hold your stress, and moving toward the quiet light at the end of the hall. The tunnel opens up. You are standing in a grotto behind a waterfall. The water tumbles over the rocks in front of you, a shimmering, translucent curtain that catches the last of the light. The sound is a deep, white noise, a constant hum that vibrates through the stone floor and into your feet. To exit, you must cross a small, dark lake. There are 15 stepping stones rising out of the water. You take your time, stepping from one flat rock to the next. The water around the stones is black and perfectly still, reflecting the mossy walls of the cave. As you step off the last stone, you emerge back into the forest. The transition is seamless. The cool air of the tunnel meets the evening air of the gardens. You are on the other side of the estate now, near a small stone bench carved into the hillside. You sit down. The bench is draped in a thick woolen shawl that someone left behind. You wrap it around your shoulders. The wool is heavy and warm. From here, you can see the lights of the Regaleira palace flickering through the trees. The windows glow with a soft, amber light. The mist has settled low on the ground now, hiding the paths and the flowers, leaving only the tops of the ancient trees visible. The sound of the waterfall is now a distant murmur. The night is coming. A single owl calls out from the cork forest, a low, comforting sound. You lean your head back against the stone. Your body feels heavy, so incredibly heavy and grounded. The journey through the stone has left you quiet. Your mind is as still as the water in the well. You watch the mist swirl slowly around your feet. As you leave the waterfall behind, the narrow dirt trail begins to descend once again. The trees here are so tall that the canopy above feels like the ceiling of a vast, natural cathedral. You can hear the sound of moving water, but it isn't the roar of the falls. This is a gentle, rhythmic lapping. The path opens up to the lake of the ibis. It is a small, perfectly still body of water tucked into a deep fold of the hillside. The surface of the lake is like a dark mirror, reflecting the overhanging branches and the pale, misty sky. In the center of the lake, a small stone island holds a statue of a bird, its head bowed as if it too is listening to the silence of the woods. Along the edge of the water, you find a curved stone bench. It is tucked between the lake and a wall of ancient ferns. The stone is cool, but you have your heavy wool shawl to keep you warm. You sit down, leaning your head back against the moss-covered rock. From this spot, you can see the loggia, a stone gallery with arched windows that looks out over the valley. It stands on the opposite bank, its pillars glowing softly in the dark. The water between you and the loggia is filled with lily pads, their wide, flat leaves floating motionless on the surface. You watch a single drop of dew fall from a fern leaf. It hits the water with a tiny silver sound that ripples out in a perfect circle. You follow the ripple with your eyes until it disappears into the shadows. Your breathing has slowed down to match the pace of the forest. Every exhale feels like letting go of another piece of the world. The mist is moving across the water now, a slow, rolling wave of white. It reaches the bench, wrapping around your feet and legs, making everything feel soft and blurred. You are no longer a visitor in these gardens. You are part of the stone, part of the water, and part of the deep, enduring sleep of the mountain. The forest has 1,000 voices, but tonight they are all whispering the same thing. They are telling you that there is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to do. You are held by the earth, shielded by the trees, and guided by the silence. You let the sound of the distant ocean and the near silent lake pull you deeper into the dark. Remember that this place is waiting for you in the real world. Next time you find yourself in Portugal, make sure you travel to the town of Sintra to see the Quinta da Regaleira for yourself. Walking these tunnels and descending into the earth is something you have to feel to truly understand. But for now, until next time.